Xin chào tất cả quý thầy cô giáo. Chào các em đã quay trở lại với IseeBooks, chương trình tiếng Anh lớp 10. Và hôm trước, các em đã học xong bài 6, Gender Equality. Hôm nay, các em sẽ tiếp tục bước vào bài 7, Cultural Diversity. Now, let's start with Unit 7, Cultural Diversity, and the first class, Getting Started. And before we come to main part of Getting Started, we come to Objective. Now, after you studied about Unit 7, you must know, first one, words and phrases related to tradition, cultural characteristic, and superstition. Second, strike in two-syllable words with the same spelling. Comparative and superlative adjectives. Articles. Reading for specific information about superstition in Vietnam. Comparing tradition and custom in two countries and discussing those in Vietnam. Listening for specific information about the wedding tradition of the small countries or community in the USA. Writing about the typical characteristic of the Vietnamese people. And before that, I would like you to come to first one, naming for me, where is the wedding? As you can see, where? That is the wedding in Japan, okay? How about the second? Yes, that is in China. Continue. Where? Yes, Korea. Okay, that is in India. Continue. Yeah, in America. And the final, it is very popular, Vietnam. Now, I would like you to come to matching for me. You can see that you have a 6 picture and match for me the wedding. You can see that the first one, India, the second, Korea, third one, yeah, it is in Vietnam, China, America, and Japan. And before we come to getting started, I would like to provide for you some vocabulary. First one, assignments. Assignments. Second, proposal ceremony. Proposal ceremony. Engagement ceremony. Engagement ceremony. Court procedure. Court procedure. Reception. Reception. And we come to activity 1, listen and read.
Getting started. Weddings in Vietnam. 1. Listen and read. Hi, Kevin. What are you reading?
Hello, Mario. I'm reading a book about Vietnamese weddings.
I see. Do you need the information for a school assessment?
Yes, I'm preparing for my presentation about the similarity and differences between the traditional Vietnamese weddings and modern ones.
That's interesting. So, what are the similarities?
Both weddings include the proposal ceremony, the engagement ceremonies, and the wedding ceremonies.
And the differences?
The ceremonies are less complicated in modern weddings.
Sounds festive. I guess the bride and groom will be much happier if
if they don't have to waste money on unnecessary things?
Well, in fact, wedding expenses these days are much greater than in the past.
What's that? What's the biggest cost?
The reception is the most expensive, especially if it is held in a big hotel.
I guess the couple gets support from their families.
Yes, of course. Some parents cover most expenses of the wedding. The bride and groom also get money as presents from the guests.
Sounds good. They are surely the happiest people on the wedding days, no matter what the costs are.
That's true.
Well, I have to go now. Good luck with your presentation.
Goodbye.
Now, after you listen and read, answer the question, what is the conversation about? And as you know, the conversation is about the Vietnamese weddings. And we come to question and answers.
Read the conversation again and answer the questions.
Now, answer the question, why is Kevin reading a book about Vietnamese wedding? So, focus on the keywords or phrases. Why Vietnamese wedding? 2. What are the similarities between a traditional Vietnamese wedding and a modern one? So, similarities, traditional Vietnamese and a modern one. 3. How have wedding ceremonies changed? So, how wedding ceremony changed? 4. Do the couples get any kind of support? Couple kind of support. 5. What do you think about these changes? So, what these changes? Now, answer the question. For example, the first one, why is Kevin reading the books about Vietnamese wedding? And in the conversation, you have the information. I'm preparing for my presentation on the similarities and differences between a traditional Vietnamese wedding and a modern one. So, because he is preparing for his presentation about similarity, his presentation about similarities and differences between a traditional Vietnamese wedding, between the traditional and traditional Vietnamese wedding, a wedding, and a modern one. Continue. What are the similarities between a traditional Vietnamese wedding and a modern one? So as you can see in the conversation, they follow the same core procedure, which consists of the proposal ceremony, the engagement ceremony, and the wedding ceremony. So, number 3, how have wedding ceremonies changed? The modern weddings are less complicated. 4, do the couples get any kind of support? Yes, they get some help from their parents and the attending guests. 5, what do you think about these changes? They make the ceremonies more interesting. And continue doing the exercise from number 2 to number 5. Press on submit button to track your answers.
Now, we come to the final task of getting started today is talking about weddings in Vietnam.
4. Prepare a short talk about weddings in Vietnam and report to the whole class.
Now, after you listen and read in the conversation, read again and prepare something about the wedding in Vietnam and report to the class. If you are in the class, you can exchange your idea with your partner and then present your preparation in front of the class, but if you use IseeBooks, you can press on Show Answer to consult more information. Yeah, for example, wedding is very important to the Vietnamese, not only to the couple involved, but also for the both families. The wedding day is usually chosen carefully by the groom parents. On the wedding day, the groom family and relatives go to the bride's house bringing gifts wrapped in wrapped paper. The wedding ceremony started in front of the altar. The bride and the groom would pray, asking their ancestor permission to get married. The master of ceremony gave the wedding couple advice on starting a new family. The groom and the bride then exchange their wedding rings. Often the wedding banquet is held at the groom and bride home or at the hotel or a restaurant, and all close relatives, friends, and neighbors are invited. Traditional food and beer or wine are served. During the reception, the groom, bride, and their parents stop by each table to thank the guests. The guests in return will give envelopes containing wedding cards and money to the newly wedded couples along with their blessing.
We've just finished getting started at Unit 7, Cultural Diversity. At home, learn by heart all vocabularies, review all information of getting started, and prepare the next lesson, language. And in the language, we'll study vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Thanks for your listening. Goodbye.